So you want to know what's wrong with Brianna Rule? Okay. Let's break this down from the beginning all the way to the end. I'm not going to take too much of your time because most of the things that I'm going to mention have already been mentioned in the public square. I'm not going to really do any hypothetical thinking here. I'm going to give you a timeline of events. I'm not going to give you specific dates because duh. So Brianna Wu, as we all know, came to fame during the Gamergate era, and the tricky thing about the Gamergate era is her involvement in it was the first sign of the entire role of what we know now as the Spartacus Act, or Steve Bannon's creation. You could launch your way into politics through controversy. Now, obviously, you'd be like, well, all throughout history, I'm sure politicians and presidents have been in controversy. You know all the stuff that's gone on. Yes, yeah. But you're not envisioning that YouTube was founded in 2005. All of this is still relatively new, and when new pathways are discovered, the first people you see in front of those pathways are the ones who have exploited it to its maximum potential. Why is it automatically them that have? Because there's nowhere else to go after that but up. These are not ceiling breakers. These are not breakthrough act. These are grifters. She's always been a grifter. The focus for her in the beginning of Gamergate was to get the attention from the 4chaners off of the main journalist, Sarkeesian, and onto her, because she wanted the popularity, because she thought that no press was bad press, especially with the rise of Trump. It just all kind of coincided very nicely with the rise in neo-Nazism, the rise in... We really never recovered from 2001, but we'll get there one day. Brianna Wu started to get rejected from every social circle that she was a part of. And it wasn't because she was trans, it's because she was unstable. She wasn't a good party person. She wasn't a good friend. She wasn't a good, she was repellent. And people started dropping grants. People said, oh, you work with her, I don't want to do that. So she had to reform her image. You might know she ran for office 2018. After being exposed on the grand stage, some people have the ability to take a losing campaign and be like, you know what? I'd love to run the gambit and show these politicians that people from outside can enact change. 2019, 2020 starts clinkering around. As you guys know, during that clinkering around, the rise of Gamergate 2 was slowly walking its way. And when something like that happens, a person like her has to be in a position somewhere down the road. How can I cash in on this? I'm not going to tell you how I know these things. Just know that everything that I'm saying is all first-hand accounts at this point. Brianna Wu tried shoving herself into a LGBTQ caucus and told all of them within that caucus that they should merge with Republicans because it was easier to explain trans issues with a broad coalition than it was with special interest groups. Obvious dumb shit. After that rejection, COVID happened. As you guys know, during COVID, the rise and everything that Trump was doing and the stupidity and everybody's covering it, perfect time to cash in on that rabid hate that was going around. So when Joe Biden comes into office, she starts testing the waters a little bit. Oh, I hung out here, and oh, I know this person, and oh, I know that person. Text messages start flying. Donors start pulling out. Why is this person still around? She's mentally unwell. This is obvious. No standards, no morals, just taking money from everybody and everything. You know who one person was that allowed her to function in this realm? That's right, Cenk Uygur. Shaky Uygur. Shaky Uygur is we like trans people. Of course we do. So when one of their trans co-workers says, oh, they're anti-union. Oh, they're a little bit transphobic. Oh, they're this and that. Instead of them doing the correct thing and amending that bridge, amending the record, making sure that everything is on the straight and narrow and no one can, no, they took it personal and sent this person, that person right there, as their attack dog. Now you understand why she was at the forefront of that conversation. It's not because it was two trans people. It's not because it was two. No, they used her and paid her to run campaigns, ads, and content smearing. But how can you do that? How do you recover from that? If you make such a bold stance and claim that somebody out here is lying about something and somebody and something, you gotta have facts to back that up. You gotta have reality. You gotta have something. What could she have? Rebellion Pack. I can claim to be the leader of a progressive movement no matter who or what challenges me. That allows me to say things that are antagonistic within progressive circles and get people to look at me like, oh, look, I'm trying to be tolerant and reach out to the other aisle and look at these mean progressives all being mad at me. No context, no delivery, no nuance, no swag. Just a hateful hag at the end of the day. But it gets a little deeper than that, of course. Mentioned Rebellion Pack. And there was another pack that she used to run with a group of people in it. This was known as the Caucus Progressive Victory, streamers and internet personalities who have the ability to challenge the mainstream media focus just like the Young Turks did, bringing the torch into the next civilization generation. The three people that were asked to spearhead this were three streamers: Stephen Bennell II, Ian Kocinski, and Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker said no. Immediate enemy, number one. Immediate enemy, number one. Immediate enemy, number one, right? So now we have an interesting divide here. We have a pack. We have a pack here. And for some reason, this pack is supposed to raise money for progressive candidates, being spearheaded by Goblin Lolly Enjoyer and Epstein. PR nightmares. Can you keep them under lock? Can you keep them under lock and key? Can you figure out a way to get a hold of them? Can you create a media cycle around them? Brianna Wu says, no, I won't do that. Nah, I can't do that to them. So the moment that Progressive Victory's POC launches, Destiny's ex-wife comes out and decides to say, yo, something don't make sense here. And so Progressive Victory's money, instead of being used for candidates, ended up going to cover and create a media, let's call it orbit, around Destiny, to hide the fact that he's an abusive, vengeful dickhead. That didn't work out so well. Now, am I claiming that Progressive Victory is a money front to hide Destiny's abuse claims and kind of keep everybody paid, satiated, and happy? I might. But I've already made this claim 3 times already. all the truth and all the things that are coming out have already been validated by me, so I don't even need to worry about how that's going to go down. But you might say, Paradigm, that's not enough. Why is she talking to Nazis and saying that we should agree with the Republicans and that trans people are too? Welcome to the era of self-preservation, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the world in which you'll never survive if you don't conform and adjust to the fascism around you. She thinks that she can escape this, being older, being quote-unquote more connected, and being able to talk against the cult of ideology that actually harms our community by being an antagonist. A lot of people will be willing to pay you for a lot of things. And it sucks. It does suck. A lot. This person is covered for destiny. This person is covered for multiple people in that circle. This person has been paying money behind other people's backs to get them to shut up. This person is a piece of shit. Scum of the earth. All because a person who never got attention before suddenly thought she was the most important person on earth. And that's what she did with it. Her legacy will always be known that of a scammer, the person at the parties that everyone avoids, nobody talks to, nobody calls. No one will remember her. And that's why she's the way she is right now. That's why she's saying the things that she's saying right now. That's why she's able to continuously think that she can shill for Israel. Kristen Cinema woke up this morning and chose violence. Incredible. Have to admit, she has a point. In my experience, most pretty women are not... In my experience, most pretty women are not threatened by trans gals. We're actually fairly natural allies, because those kinds of high-fed women understand the skill and thought behind presenting yourself that way. And we're not threatening. There's no power struggle or mean girl dynamics. Trans gals, especially ones into men, are delighted to have a seat at the table. One of the tragedies I've noticed that a lot of pretty women get traumatized in childhood to not trust other women. Trans gals are traumatized into not trusting men. And I think finding someone with no pretext tends to lead to fairly stable relationships. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. If it feels like it's weird, it's because this is not something that's standing on logic. Her friends abandoned her. Nobody wants to be known by her, with her. She destroyed her own psyche to get acceptance from people who will never love her, and she can't deal with it. Brianna Wu is canceled. Canceled. And now I pause the video in editing to get my thumbnail. And then I make it a little bigger so we can get options. This is staying in the video, by the way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She ain't never gonna step to me. Everybody know not to bring that hippity hoopla to Paradigm. Come get your thing popped at your cable, girl. I want it all.